Welcome to the SVNS Railroad. My name is Brian Glock and my railroad is located in Roswell. I hope you enjoy this video. My layout was started in 2004, and one of the things I wanted to accomplish was to hand lay track, which took me a while, but I did. Probably built over 85 turnouts. The layout is constructed with 3/4 inch sand ply. I cut the 3/4 inch sand ply to dimensional shapes. The 3/4 inch sand ply doesn't tend to shrink, contract, or expand like dimensional lumber. Alright, my railroad is located, theoretically, it's a fictional railroad located western North Carolina and eastern Tennessee, hence the mountainous terrain. I try to justify running locomotives from the southern and the L&N because I try to make this a connecting railroad. The locomotives generally run from SVNS when we have an operating session, but I can use some southern and L&N railroad locos. The area that you're looking at right now is called Moonshine Mountain. This is a logging area. The bridge, the trestle, is scratch built lumber I bought at Michael's and cut up on a bandsaw. The trees are a variety of handmade and packaged trees from different kit manufacturers. The structures on this end of the layout are some are scratch built. The little engine house for the logging line is scratch built, the water tank. Then I have a Campbell mine on the other side, which we'll probably see later on. Yeah, I'm standing right now in the town of Sweetwater, which is probably which is on one end of the layout. There is actually a Sweetwater in Tennessee. I looked it up on a map, hence the reason for the Sugar Valley and Sweetwater. The Sugar Valley is totally made up, but we can call it a fictional town on this layout. The trains run as basically a double-ended reverse loop. So there's a reverse loop up around Moonshine Mountain and a reverse loop, rather large one, in Sweetwater. The track in Sweetwater above that you can see is all hand laid. Now below I have another line that runs into, on the far end, a staging yard. The staging yard consists of 6 tracks, has 6 trains parked down there that can come out at any time I want. That trackage in there is all old Shinnahara Code 70 that I've taken from other layouts that I built in prior years. This layout was started basically in 2004. It took quite a while to hand lay the track. I'm just about finished with the scenery. So right now what I basically do is take anything that I built prior that I'm not 100% satisfied with, redo it, and maybe make another scratch built model or a kit that I like. Right now I'm standing in Sugar Valley, which is on the opposite side of Sweetwater. I'm going to go through the industries that I have in here. The first one would be Centennial Mills, basically flour manufacturing, and that's a Walters kit. Then the next building down is one of my favorites. It's a bunch of pieces from Walters kits that I smashed together, and that's Kevorkian's Casket Company, which is pretty apropos. The next building down, which is kit bashed, also is McIntyre's Metal Manufacturing, named after a good friend of ours that passed, Bob McIntyre. And the next one we have down is another kit bash, is Harrison's Hardware, Plumbing and Electrical Paints. The next building down is just a nondescript factory with no name. This yard is again all hand-laid track. Turnouts are all hand-laid. My latest addition is this little metal scrap yard, which gave me something to do over the winter. We'll start at this end. This is Sunnyside Yard, which is what I call it, and no relation to the Sunnyside Yard on Long Island. This is the diesel service facility where the diesel engines are fueled. This is a scratch-built diesel house that I built. The track in here is all hand-laid also, and you can see the reason why I hand-laid. I could never get these turnouts in with conventional turnouts. So they're not a number 6, they're not a number 5, they're not a number 4, they're maybe a 6 3/4, a 5 1/8. Anything that just fits in here, you can just draw the lines and build them to fit. After the diesel house, we have the steam facilities, which is the coaling tower. This is where they fill up the coaling tower. Water tower, which feeds the water fountain here. And behind the coaling tower, we have the sand house. And then the engine house in the back, which is kind of special to me. I built that in the 70s. That's George Celios's Train Miniatures first kit. And believe it or not, that kit I bought for $9. And I think they're selling them now for 100 and something. I did some modifications to it, but it's basically the same kit. The turntable, which is a Walters turntable, 90 foot, which I wish I had 110 foot, but I don't have the room for it. And then of course we have a canning facility over here, which is a bar mills kit, and then the rest is just storage for freight cars. All right, now we're in an area called Hog Hill. At one end of the layout I have this little pickle plant that I scratch built about 2 years ago. That was a fun project. And then up above that is the lower logging camp, which has the housing units and the supply depot, which is a little scratch built building, and a cute little bar mills water tank to service the little Shays and Heisler engines that run on this. Then down here we have the station for Hog Hill. Moving on further off, we have the oil facility, oil storage facility. This is a loading dock for the tank cars. They come and go. We switch this out. All right, this end is the far end of the layout. Now we have a little farm. We'll call it McDonald's farm. Little scratch-built shed. I have a couple of tractors in there. That's a Walters house kit, and this is a scratch-built barn that I built. Then we come around, and a trestle over Sugar Valley, the Sugar River. Behind the Sugar River we have a produce stand, not a produce stand, but a produce distributing center, Borden's milk products, and a warehouse. Moving down, this is one of my latest additions. This is a bar mills feed and seed, and another feed and seed here, which is supplied by a siding. They have the tenement district back here, a small shopping center, a small shopping area. The first class hotel in Sweetwater, the fire department, Sweetwater Fire Department. Then coming towards the front, we have Mooney's Plumbing Supply, Honest Joe's Loans, the Irish Whiskey Bar and Grill, and a little antique center and a cigar store. And then we have the village of Sweetwater, which has the gas station and the community shopping center. Behind the shopping center, we have the John Deere tractor manufacturing plant, which has loaders of tractors, and behind that is a machine shop which gets deliveries from boxcars. At the far end, we have a team track where less than carload items and certain items for Sweetwater get delivered. Yeah, this is the main control panel for the layout. The dispatcher would sit here, and basically what it does, it controls just the main line turnouts. All the other turnouts are controlled by the individual wherever they happen to be switching. This is the panel for the staging yard, which is located underneath the layout in the back. There are 6 tracks under there, and I have 6 trains located down there. The way I keep track of them is I have a list here, which train is on what track and what direction they're facing, because there's no way I can see what's going on down there. The primary control is the DCS 100. That's the main control. Next to it is a booster for the upper levels. Tony's train control systems and a reversing section control the rest of the layout. This is the auxiliary panel. Over here on this side we have another DB150, which is a booster unit that controls the yard. Then I have a 5 amp power supply for auxiliary lighting. Then I have a LNWI, which you're able to run this layout with a cell phone. And then a new UR93, which supports the new throttles that Digitrax put out, the duplex system. Then next to that, I have 2 old throttle packs which supply power to all my Tortoise switch machines.